Oh, hello, welcome back to the Treasure Pirate YouTube channel. So, you will see I am modelling one of my latest purchases. Seems to be a good time for various hauls, so I'm just putting these up because they're easy for me to do than sales ones. I'm working on it, and yes, I'm working on that, that's all we can say. This lovely little thing, I saw it in a charity shop. It was next to all the sort of fancy dress stuff. It looks like the real thing as opposed to a fancy dress thing, all sort of lined and leather. It's all coming apart a little bit, but I did some research. I paid £3 for this, and I won't wear it, so I'm not really a hat person, so that little bit of loveliness set me back £3, and it looks as if I'm going to be able to get, let me just move you across a bit so I can see my prices. I'm going to try for £24.99 on that one, so that's all pretty good. There we go, swinging you around a bit. Okay, so that's all pretty good, so there we go. I'll give it a shot. Mind you, posting it's going to be a bit fine, and it's a little bit sort of banged out of shape, but it was red, and I can't resist anything red. So that was £3. Now, I've got a place I go that has a pound rail, and I really couldn't believe my eyes when I saw this on it. I saw this because it's a Jules. There you are, I'm even taking the labels off them. It's a Jules. It was on a pound rail. It's a gilet, I believe is the term. Sleeveless puffer. It's really lovely. It hasn't got a mark on it. And I've looked closely, believe me. To find something this colour without a mark on it in the charity shop pound rail is almost the impossible. So I grabbed it, needless to say. I had a bit of a go at the pound rail. So there it was, and I'm looking for, I've got it all up here, which is why I keep peering. Jules. I'm going to shoot for £50 in it. May not get that, obviously, but it's coming to that sort of season where everybody really wants to be wearing that sort of thing. And it's a 12. It doesn't fit me, and white is really not my colour because I'm just a messy kind of person. You can guarantee if I'm wearing something white, I'll be eating spaghetti bolognese, or I'll throw some fruit juice down my front. So that's not why I wear black, but it's quite a strong motivator. Right, what else did we find? Bit of a, oh, excuse me, I might bob out of shot. Bit of a denim skirt today. In fact, I got 2 of these. There was this maxi skirt. Now if I move shifty back a bit, I can show you. It's got nice patch pockets, a bit like jeans. And it has a zippy front, not something I favour, it doesn't usually work for me. But it's one of these nice panelled, there we go, nice panelled Haruna skirts. This actually is a 14 long. And long is always good in my book, it's actually my size, it's just not my style. It has, as sometimes happens when you get home, because you can't look over everything carefully, it has a teeny weeny hole in the back. I'm going to effect a repair on it and of course declare it, as I do when I do repairs, but a lot of the time people don't mind if it's not really visible, and it's a design that they're after. So having asked £1 for that, what are we asking for? 40 now. I'm going to try for my usual £19.99. Maxi skirts, kind of around that mark, a bit more if there's something truly special. And then there's the other one, which is a 12 regular, and this design I prefer, and it might fit me, but I'm not really a big denim skirt fan. Has these, it's got a ruffled hem, panels, nice dark denim, nothing the matter with this at all. Easier waistline there, just a flat, flat waistline with zip. And these again were £1. Again, I'll probably go for my usual £19.99 on that one. This one actually has some stretch in it, and I find for anybody who's not constructed the way a shop thinks you should be constructed, which is quite often straight up and straight down, for those of us who are like this, who have the waist and hips, which is a female trait, I find, it's quite nice to find something that stands a chance of fitting. So, next. Oh. Okay, well, you probably don't need to see the exercise trousers that I thought would do for me. But there we go. I couldn't actually find a brand on these, but for £1 I didn't mind. I'm thinking I'll keep these for myself because they're going to fit. They're a nice thick there's nothing worse than seeing someone walking around after an exercise class in leggings that are thin and they'll stretch over the areas. It's not a good look on anybody, and it certainly isn't a good look on me. So I thought I'd keep those for myself for all that exercise I'm going to be doing over the coming months. That may be. So, this was an interesting one. This was also on the pound round, and I saw the style of it and thought, this is really rather cool. This is a high neck, very much the thing at the moment. This is like a velvety. I say velvety because it's not cotton velvet, it's more of a, excuse me, like the velour velvet. Ew, don't know what I swallowed there. Right, now, this has buttons up the front, and it's by Pearl Lowe, who is the daughter of Daisy Lowe and is quite well known for modelling her mum's designs. Or is it Daisy Lowe that models them? I get them confused. Anyway, it's very boho style. It's very pretty to look at, and it will photograph quite nicely. It has this ruffled bottom, so to speak, and these sort of nice little sleeves. It's, to my mind, it's nasty fabric. It's, I don't want to touch it because it's like polyester-y stuff that kind of creeps me out. But, you know, keep an eye out for these, because this one I should be able to ask, she said peering, I should be able to get £20 for it, and considering it's something with a peacock's label on it, which I wouldn't normally touch with a barge pole. There we go, let's get in. Is that going to focus for you? It says Pearl Lowe, and then it says 4 peacocks. And for £1, to get a return of 20 out of it, I didn't think was too bad. Some of these collaborations of high-end designers and celebrities with lower-end stores are actually quite sought after. That one probably isn't, but it's a good size actually. I should say that was an 18, which is another reason why I picked it up. If it had been a 10, you know, I'm not sure I would have bothered. Right, what have we got here? Oh yes, another thing I probably wouldn't normally have bothered with, but again, it was on the pound rail. It's a linen skirt, and they're kind of starting to go out of season because obviously summer is gone and winter is coming. However, this was a flippy hem Anne Harvey linen skirt, but what I did like about it, and I will try and show, is that it has this sort of embroidery embellishment going on the hem, and that's quite a nice look. And you know, you can always put this, it's a good heavyweight linen, not lined, but it really is a nicely made piece. And I thought, you know, you can autumn that up a bit quite easily. And it's a good size. It is 16 maybe? They're quite generous here. Yeah, that's the 16. So I thought that's going to do somebody a good turn. And I would probably, I mean, I'm probably only going to put sort of £11 on it. But for £1, you know, bread and butter stuff, not to be argued with. And another thing for £1, it was a real score. In fact, I realised that instead of paying £7 for 7 items, somehow they managed to charge me 8. But I don't begrudge them that, because to be fair, they're little old ladies, and I'm sure it works in my favour sometimes too. But there we go. This I rather liked, Dotty and Spotty. It's sort of got a ruched middle, which I think people quite like, don't they? It's ruching around the tummy area, and a skirt. And it has a belt on as well for a tie. It's not the latest fashion, but it's good functional workwear, sensible design. It's in a size 10, which is a bit smaller than I would go for, but it was Hobbs. And £1 for Hobbs that hasn't been completely and utterly worn to pieces and trashed was a good deal. So I'm not really showing you these very well, am I? There we go. So, you know, not everything Hobbs goes very well, but workwear, formal wear, anything that's made of nice fabrics generally does. So I would, what was I putting that on for? £17.99. There we go. I wasn't putting it on for a lot. It's a small size and it's not very up to date. The thing that I didn't mind spending some money on was a Barber jacket. I don't mind buying a Barber jacket. This is actually one of the quilted classic sort of designs. It does have a name which escapes me now, and I did pay £5.50 for it, which I didn't think was bad. I didn't think it was bad at all. There's a couple of places where this quilting works does seem to work loose. I've actually got quite good at being able to repair it by going through the holes, so you can see where the holes are. It's a bit of a fiddle-faddle, but worth it in this instance. There we go, there's a bit there where it's sort of, the stitching sort of lifted out. So I can probably effect some repairs to bring it up to scratch. It's not worn badly at all, it's in lovely condition. So I reckon for that one, it's not one of the big wax jackets that you get lots of money for, but I should be looking at, and it's disappeared on me, $39.99. It's an XL, by the way, men's, so an XL helps, not a big size. So that was my mini haul. I did actually get a game, and I kind of swear off games these days because there's a big stack of them next door, and they are going, but very slowly, and they take up a lot of space. But I found a thing called Priests of Ra. I was drawn to it because they had this lovely sort of Egyptian-y design on the front. I was like, ooh, it looks like one of those role-playing games, RPG games. So I had a look at it, and there were a couple of other games that really weren't worth anything, but I picked it up for £3 because apparently it will go for about £23. I do add postage and packing on top of everything. I'd like to do you a sales video because I've got them literally all lined up. Well, I did have them all lined up ready to go, but I'm still trying to work out how to do it. So any help, Carla, would be appreciated, because it can't be rocket science. I just haven't got the wherewithal with all these programs. Sales have been, I would say, up and down. Generally, September is a better month for me than the summer. I'm not selling specifically Christmassy things, but we've got party season coming up. I've got some stuff that clothing I specifically put on for around the Christmas time, and vintage stuff that I know is going to go. So I've got a lot of ironing and stuff to do, and a bit of special photography to get those listed. So I seem to be listing a lot at the moment. I'm up at about 870, which is the most I've ever been. I'm thinking that's a bit of a big amount of stock. Some of it has been hanging around and has been a bit sticky, so I'm contemplating doing a sale and finding a way to shift some more of that a bit more quickly. But, you know, things are ticking along nicely. It's all good. So, yeah, I did have a no sale day the other day, and it really is like someone's just switched eBay off, and then all of a sudden, with something random and sticky that's been hanging around on the shelf for ages, suddenly sells out of the blue. And it's almost like one thing causes another thing, causes another thing. Who knows the science behind eBay? You've just got to plough on and take the good days with the not such good days. And when I look at my sort of overall figures, and I tend to look at, rather than weekly, because weeks also vary, I look at a monthly, because that gives you a real proper snapshot of how things are going, rather than getting caught up in a tiny day when something's really not working, another day where you seem to have had a stonking day. If you take an overall average, then it all starts to become a bit more sustainable and look a bit more sensible. And it's not nearly as frightening. So long as I know my 60-day total stays at a certain amount, or my 31-day total stays at a certain amount, I know I'm doing well, and I try and grow it. But I still struggle with spending so long kind of picking over my listings. There are some I'd like to go back and revise, older ones that I think perhaps my keywords aren't as good, or maybe I didn't put a measurement in, but you know, I've got a life, I've got a lot of things to be doing at the moment. Currently waiting on Junior's 11 plus results, which is sitting at the back of my mind really. It's a weird thing putting kids through this, but they all do some sort of test or another at this age, which plays some part in how their next school goes, and I think 11 plus is just one of those specific things that happens down here in Kent, and you just play the game really, don't you? But I've got my bits crossed for him anyway. Bless him. Halloween's coming, and we're all getting terribly excited. We're getting terribly excited about it because we love Halloween in this house. We usually have a party, we usually go out and do trick-or-treating, but he's getting, you know, he's 11 years old now, and he's getting quite tall, and his days of demanding candy off people are numbered, because it's going to be seen as, you know, sort of huge teen lumbers up on the door demanding candy with menaces, and no, it's not going to work. So we think it's probably his last year of doing that little thing of going around all the houses and getting his sweeties. But he loves dressing up. He loves, funnily enough, he never did when he was little, loves getting into the spirit of it all, and he does understand the true meaning of Halloween, which is not just about candy, any more than for people who are into Christmas. The true meaning of Christmas isn't just about gifts. It kind of works both ways. So, on that happy note, I've got to go and photograph this lot, list a lot of things, and keep myself generally very busy. And I hope you're all doing the same. So, I will attempt to do a sales video at some point, but I'm going to keep putting stuff out there because you guys seem to like it, so let me know. Subscribe if you want to, give us a thumbs up, and I'm also looking forward to Zahir's head shaving, which I won't be able to see live because I'm actually away this weekend, so I'm not really going to be online. But I'm so looking forward to catching up with it. It's going to be hilarious, and I hope you all donate wonderful large amounts for a good cause. So I will see you soon, and take care. Bye.